to the podcast Ripping Off the Bandaid, where we talk about the topic that no one else really wants to talk about, and that is abortion. In this video, I'm going to talk about why Christians need to be pro-life and why it's our duty to defend the unborn and why we need to work on changing the culture around abortion, especially within the church community. First off, we got God says that we are alive in the womb in the Bible. Okay, when we look at Psalm 139, we're going to kind of go through it together. David wrote, "For you created my innermost being," and we're going to look at this specific line here. "You knit me together in my mother's womb." God was working on us in the womb. It's not just some clump of cells or random object. God was working on us in the womb. He was knitting us together. He was putting us together in our mom's womb. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. Again, referring to the mom's womb. Your mom's womb. We were made. He made us. We were being made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, another reference to the mother's womb. This is an important line here. Your eyes saw yours unformed body. We might have been unformed. Important word here is my. We were unformed, but the my makes sure to specify when David was writing this, him, because that was him. My, you can't be, that's not just a clump of cells when it says my. That's someone. Unformed body. You can have a body just unformed, like we're still developing. Like little kids, they're not fully adults yet. They're still developing. They're not fully formed into an adult. Next line, all the days were ordained for me were written in your book. We know that to be the book of life. Before one of them came to be. So he knew that random clump of cells wasn't just a clump of cells. That was specifically there intentionally. You and every other human on earth was intentionally put in the mother's womb. Intentionally. You were intentionally born, intentionally conceived. As Christians, we need to really talk about this because I feel like a lot of Christians are too scared to even mention abortion, and that's understandable, but we are severely lacking when it comes to our impact on culture. And we need to take more look at this specific Bible verses right here and bring awareness to Christians that we need to do something about this, okay? Because this isn't just a clump of cells. We weren't just a clump of cells. We were being formed, and we were human. Next up, I'm going to talk about why it's our duty to stop abortion, okay? Now, yes, it is the killing of unborn children, right? It's modern day genocide. I mean, it's going on right now. It's worse than all the deaths from the Holocaust and COVID combined. Okay? Combined. Holocaust, 6 million Jews were killed by the Nazis. COVID, 6.9 million died worldwide. Abortion, 63 million in the US alone since 1973. And how that translates to today, especially luckily after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, that translates now to new numbers, is 1 in 5 babies are aborted. 1 in 5. And I know that back before Roe was overturned, it was 1 in 4. Now it's 1 in 5, but that's still crazy, outstanding how common abortion is. And I mean, hundreds of babies are dying every day. Now, I'm not saying they're being killed, but not by the mothers. Because people who have had abortions or advocate for it, I truly believe they are misinformed and misled by the devil. They're being misled by the devil, who works through Planned Parenthood and other abortion facilities and advocates. This is a genocide that has worked so well for so long because it's something that we don't see. We saw pictures. We saw pictures in our textbooks. We know what the Holocaust looked like. We saw physical evidence of the Holocaust. We saw physical evidence of people dying from COVID. I mean, every single day they put numbers up on the news talking about all the, like, here's the new statistics. You know, how many people caught COVID. These are all the people who have died today. You saw what happened when people caught COVID. You saw videos of symptoms. But we don't see any of that for abortion. That's because it's all happening on the inside of the mom's womb. So you got several factors kind of helping to conceal the baby development and the real true nature of abortion. One, right? You got the baby's developing in the womb. The baby is invisible. You don't really see the victim or the potential victim at all. You see the bump, but you don't see the baby. When abortion happens, it happens in these, so you got either the surgical abortion or you got the pill abortion. Plan C, Plan B, whatever they want to call it nowadays, it's the same thing. The surgical abortion takes place in these abortion facilities where they take the woman in, take her into this little room, perform the abortion. No one sees it except for the doctor and sometimes maybe the patient. The majority of the times these patients don't know what they're doing. They don't look down, they don't see what's really going on. And that stuff isn't televised. You don't see what's really going on. In addition to that, from my personal interactions with my local pregnancy resource center, they talk about how women their pregnancy isn't something that they're like all talking about most of the time, especially if it's unplanned. So I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do. I understand, women who have their privacy. Those are the two boundaries that keep people from really talking about abortion. And we need to definitely bring more light to this topic. Because if we don't, it's just going to keep going. It's going to keep happening. Sure, some laws will get passed, but that doesn't keep people from changing laws again. Sure, here in Tennessee, we got laws preventing abortion, unless I believe it's the life of the mother, which I still don't agree with, but I'll get to that with another video. But these laws aren't permanent. These Supreme Court justices aren't permanent. These politicians aren't permanent. Policies can change. Politicians can change. So we need to continue on this. We have a lot of momentum from Roe v. Wade, but as Christians, we have an obligation and duty to continue on with that momentum God gave us and to continue on with this mission. Another thing, the devil uses abortion, okay? It isn't just something that happens, or is it just some sort of random thing that happens to random people. We're in a culture now that sees children more as commodities rather than human beings. If you don't like your product due to a product error, you can just kill it and try for another. I'm not saying that's what a lot of people think, but that's what the culture is really trying to push right now. You can see that everywhere. Oh, if your baby has Down syndrome, you might have Down syndrome when it's born, oh, just kill it. Just try for another baby. Just try for another one. It's complete disregard for human life. The devil likes that. He wants us to be seen just by our product information, or what we can or can't do. He wants us to be seen as non-humans, as only being valuable by what humanity gives us, not the value God gives us. He likes to dehumanize us. I would say that's the number one way that people can be dehumanized, is us being valued not just by the color of our skin, which is great that's in the past, but we're being valued now by what type of baby we are before we're born. And definitely when it comes to the women who feel like they don't know what to do with their baby, especially if it was unplanned. The devil likes to inch his way into the mom's mind, especially during that time of just unease, and completely just try to ruin, just go in there and maliciously attack her mind and do things to put her in a hard place. Like, you're only valuable if you kill your baby. That's empowerment. So that's the only way you're empowered. That's the only way you're valuable as a woman. Is if you kill your baby, you can do anything you want to. It's your body. And it's something very demonic and evil. That it's something so common. I mean, here at MTSU, there are women getting pregnant quite often. You don't see it. No one wants to talk about it. My local pregnancy resource center, they get a lot of people coming in. Our campus has a pregnancy resource type thing here, but women don't go there often the time. They know that, I can just call this number, go to this website, order a pill. My local pregnancy resource center knows what's really going on. Now to kind of wrap this all up, God gives us our value. Not what circumstance brought us into the world, or our disability, or our production errors. It's our duty as Christians, regardless of what denomination you are, our duty as Christians is to get out there and tell everyone how precious and valuable they are because of how God made them. Please encourage your college ministry here on campus, here at MTSU, to take what I've said into consideration and to openly discuss and talk about this with your chapter group or whatever here on campus. I'm talking about Collegians for Christ. I'm talking about Raiders for Christ, Northside College Ministry, Believers at MTSU, Calvary College of Ministry, Reformed University Fellowship, The Point, University Catholic especially, and UKirk. These are just to name a few. Please talk about it. Even if you don't agree with me, just bring up the conversation. Especially when it comes to this Psalms 139. I mean, if you truly preach the gospel, you have to acknowledge Psalms 139. Also, just continue reading through the Bible. There's over a dozen Bible verses that reference not abortion directly, but the value of the human life outside the womb and on the inside of the womb before you were born. We as a church need to make a change and stop this modern day genocide. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next Monday.